Something in your eyes makes me wanna lose myself. Makes me wanna lose myself in your arms. There's something in your voice makes my heart beat fast. Hope this feeling lasts the rest of my life. If you knew how lonely my life has been, and how long I've been so alone. If you knew how I wanted someone to come along and change my life the way you've done, it feels like home to me. It feels like home to me. It feels like I'm all the way back where I belong. But I'm alright, 'cause I have you here with me.
Well, good afternoon everyone. Danny and Ashleigh welcome you here today to the beautiful Godwick Great Barn on the truly happy occasion of their marriage. I'm sure that it means a great deal to them that you are all here to share in their happiness and celebrate with them the beginning of their married life together. I'd like to begin proceedings by introducing my colleague Tina, who is here to ensure that all the legal formalities to today's ceremony are completed correctly. My name is Polly, and it is my pleasure and privilege to be conducting the ceremony here today on behalf of the Norfolk Registration Service. This place in which we are now met has been duly sanctioned according to law for the celebration of marriages. The ceremony will be in accordance with the laws of this country, which requires the couple to declare their freedom to marry each other before they go on to complete their marriage contract and promise to take each other as partners for life. You are here today to witness the marriage of Daniel Carlton Haynes and Ashleigh Frances Dance. If any person here present knows of any legal impediment to this marriage, it must be declared now. We've brought all the right people with you, so you can relax. But before we get this lovely couple married, there is a very important job in hand, for it has long been tradition for a bride to be given away. And today that honour falls to Ashleigh's father, Trevor. So Trevor, will you entrust the love and care of Ashleigh to Danny?
I will.
Lovely. Thank you very much, sir. Well, Danny and Ashleigh, before you are joined in marriage, I should remind you both of the solemn and binding nature of the vows that you're about to make. Marriage is a promise of hope between two people who love each other, to share love and friendship, and to offer help and comfort in times of joy and in times of sadness. Danny and Ashleigh will now declare there is no legal reason why they should not marry before they go on to complete their marriage contract. Okay, Danny, so tradition for the groom to go first. So I'm going to ask you a question now, and if this question applies to you, please would you respond, I am. Are you Daniel Carlton Haynes, free lawfully to marry Ashleigh Frances Dance?
I am.
Perfect, thank you. And now Ashleigh. Are you Ashleigh Frances Dance, free lawfully to marry Daniel Carlton Haynes?
I am.
Lovely, thank you. So we are halfway there already. And we now come to those very important contracting words where you will be speaking these vows to each other as you contract to take each other as husband and wife. So Danny, as before, you'll be going first. When you're ready, please repeat these words after me and speak them directly to Ashleigh. I, Daniel Carlton Haynes,
I, Daniel Carlton Haynes,
take you, Ashleigh Frances Dance,
take you, Ashleigh Frances Dance,
to be my wedded wife.
to be my wedded wife.
Yes, that's lovely, thank you very much. And now Ashleigh. I, Ashleigh Frances Dance,
I, Ashleigh Frances Dance,
take you, Daniel Carlton Haynes,
take you, Daniel Carlton Haynes,
to be my wedded husband.
to be my wedded husband.
That's it, it's got the seal of approval from Tina. That means you are married. Well done. But we just have another little bit for you, because it's known the world over to speak the I do's at your wedding. So Danny, having taken Ashleigh to be your wife, do you promise to be loving, caring and loyal to her for the rest of your life together?
I do.
And Ashleigh, having taken Danny to be your husband, do you promise to be loving, caring and loyal to him for the rest of your life together?
I do.
So we now have a musical interlude, for we have Laura Webb, who is kindly going to sing Eva Cassidy's Songbird. Thank you, Laura.
For you, there'll be no more crying. keep singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before, like never before, like never before.
Oh, that was amazing. Thank you. I don't know about you, but that's giving me goosebumps. Lovely. Thank you very much, Laura. Danny and Ashleigh have chosen to demonstrate their commitment by the giving and receiving of rings. A wedding ring is a symbol of the everlasting circle of love, truth and unity in which two lives are joined together. And Kieran has been entrusted with keeping the ring safely on his person. So if you could come forward, please, Kieran, and present the ring for Danny to give to Ashleigh. And Danny, if you could position the ring at Ashleigh's finger, and then when you're ready, repeat these words after me to Ashleigh. Ashleigh, I give you this ring
Ashleigh, I give you this ring
as a symbol of my love,
as a symbol of my love,
and to show that I choose you
and to show that I choose you
to be my wife today and always.
to be my wife today and always.
And then put the ring all the way on with a little bit of help from your daughter. Okay, so Kieran, if you could present please the ring for Ashleigh to give to Danny. And Ashleigh, if you could position the ring at Danny's finger, and then when you're ready, repeat these words after me to Danny. Danny, I give you this ring
Danny, I give you this ring
as a symbol of my love,
as a symbol of my love,
and to show that I choose you
and to show that I choose you
to be my husband today and always.
to be my husband today and always.
And then put the ring all the way. And you can remain holding hands together. May these rings always remind you both of the promises that you have made to each other here today. Thank you very much, Kieran. Well, today will be a milestone in your lives which you can look back on with happiness and pride. From this day, may the ordinary things you share become special and the special things truly great. Cherish your love for each other. Enhance the potential you have as individuals, as a couple, and as a family. And look to the future with a commitment that grows deeper and stronger as the years pass. Danny and Ashleigh, you have both made the declarations that are prescribed by law and formed a solemn and binding contract with each other in the presence of your lovely guests here today. You have sealed that contract with the giving and receiving of rings, and you have made promises to each other of love, loyalty, and commitment. I am therefore completely delighted to declare that you are now husband and wife. Danny, you may kiss your bride.
The rest of my life, if you knew how lonely my life has been, and how long I've been so alone. And if you knew how I wanted someone to come along and change my life the way you've done, it feels like home to me. It feels like home To me, it feels like I'm all the way back where I belong. But I'm alright, 'cause I have you here with me. And I can almost see through the dark there is light. And if you knew how happy you are making me, I never thought that I love anyone so much. It feels like home. It feels like home to me. It feels like I'm all the way back where I come from. It feels like home to me. It feels like home to me. It feels like I'm all the way back where I belong. Feels like I'm all the way back where I belong.
Please welcome Trevor. So I'm not really sure who's more nervous about this, me or Ashleigh. I think it's fair to say we both had a bit of a dicky tummy over the last day or two. In fact, we've both done more runs than Westreach and cricket as well. So there you go. I'd like to thank all those involved in making this day a special day, because it is a lot of hard work. Obviously, Danny and Ashleigh have put in a significant amount of work, but Carlton and Julie, Don, Andy, Kieran, Harriet, Kim, and anybody else who's been involved. Don't want to miss anybody out. If I have, and I apologise if I have. But it makes it, doesn't it? It's about what it's all about, isn't it? The people here and what you've done is a fabulous job, all of you. So thank you for that. It's a fabulous setting. It's unbelievable setting. So I'm really glad about that. Sadly, some people can't be with us today, like my sister Sue, who's in Australia, so she can't make today's celebration, and also Claire's sister Elaine and her daughter Shirley, unfortunately, and my elder sister Julie, who are unwell, but my very talented brother Pete is capturing this all on video so they can enjoy it at a later time. Unfortunately, both Ashleigh and Dan have lost very special grandparents in the last year or so, and Julie, Carlton and Claire have lost loving parents. But I bet they're all looking down on you with a great deal of pride today. And I want to thank Danny's family for being so lovely and welcoming. Ashleigh, I don't think you could have chosen better in-laws. You couldn't. They're absolutely amazing. Cocker Spaniels, Stan and Ollie think so as well, and we do too. So thank you for all you do, Carmen, for Ashleigh. I want to say how lovely Julie and Claire look today. They do look stunning, but we played a part, can't we? It was tough. We played a part, looking through shops, looking at websites, and very dangerously offering an opinion. Which is a very dangerous thing to do. In fact, Claire came up, she said, "Which dress do you like?" I said, "Well, I like that one." She went, "Oh, well, I like that one." I said, "Well, have that one." She went, "Yeah, but you don't like that one." I said, "No, I don't like that one. It's because I think that was a little bit better." "Oh, I'll wear that one." "Yeah, but if you feel more comfortable than that." Anyway, this went on for a couple of hours, and the next day she said, "I've chosen another dress." So that's the way. But you both look stunning. So well done, ladies. Danny. So since the day I met you, I knew you as a top guy. You're kind, you're friendly, you're hardworking, you're sporty. You're everything that I could wish for from a son-in-law. The only problem is you support Arsenal. And as a Chelsea fan, it wouldn't be the problem, but last couple of seasons, Chelsea had the upper hand many years ago, but now it's all Arsenal. But I don't know whether you know, before, when Ashleigh was first pregnant, and they were deciding on a name for the baby, they didn't know obviously whether it would be a boy or a girl at that stage, and Ashleigh quite liked the name Eden, but Dan was not having Eden because it reminded him of Eden Hazard, who was the then Chelsea player, and there's no way Dan was going to have that. But Callie will be getting her first Chelsea kit for Christmas. Hey, Callie, Chelsea all the way.
Only costs £1 now, doesn't it?
Yeah, get the free charity shots, I've got loads. So yeah, the other thing about Danny is he's not too adventurous in terms of food. He's got better over the time. And when the menu items were coming up for what we're going to eat today, one of the options was duck. And Danny said, I'm not having that, I'm not having that. Why? Why wouldn't you have that? He said, oh, I've had enough ducks this summer, I don't want to. Seriously, Daddy, you're a top guy, a brilliant dad, and we couldn't wish for a better son-in-law, and Ashleigh couldn't have a better husband. So, thank you for all you do. Now a bit about our beautiful daughter, Ashleigh. Or should I say Ashleigh Dangerous Dance? Now it's Ashleigh Hazardous Haynes. So I'm sure you all know this is where it's going to get difficult. Right, so just take a drink, Trevor.
All of us.
So as you know, Ashleigh was a very poorly girl when she was young, and not dissimilar age to Callie, and you can imagine those were very dark times for myself and Claire. But it was absolutely amazing and inspiring to watch Ashleigh's resilience and strength through all of that. It was quite incredible that she just kept going, and she kept us going at times, didn't she, Claire? It was absolutely incredible. But there's one thing about Ashleigh, that if it can happen, it will happen to Ashleigh. But she always bounces back. She is quite incredible. So a couple of stories that when she was probably about 4-year-old, her and Jack this is my son Jack, and they were outside playing in the back garden. Jack came running in and said, Ashleigh's broken her head. So I run outside, and she had cut her head. And, it probably wasn't the biggest wound in the world, but blood from a head wound goes everywhere. So by the time we got outside, she was absolutely covered in blood, over her head, all down her clothes. Panicked, we rushed her off to A&E. It was a really hot day, even hotter than it has been today, and we got into the A&E, and there was this surly, matronly type nurse there. She was awful, and actually was sat on my knee, and she was really upset. And I then started to feel unwell myself. To cut a long story short, I ended up in the bed next to Ashleigh, with the nurse saying, I haven't got time to pick you off the floor, I've got to treat your daughter. So she was really horrible, so I was laying there. So that was quite embarrassing, but Ashleigh was fine. Another incident occurred was when Ashleigh had a pony. Danny, do not let Callie have any horses, ponies. It's just far too dangerous, far too stressful, and very, very expensive. Anyway, Ashleigh had this pony, and her and her friends wanted to go to ride the ponies and the horses on the beach. So we took them to this massive beach to the other side of Skegness. And these ponies and horses were majestically galloping along over the sand and into the waves. And they then set off along the beach. And as they went along the beach, there was an inlet of water. And for some reason, Ashleigh's pony tripped. And as it tripped, Ashleigh lost her balance and became unstuck and fell actually under the pony because she was still in her stirrups. And the pony was going along kneeing Ashleigh. Literally, it was absolutely frightening because I was quite a long way from her, and you could see this happening. It went on for some period of time. And eventually Ashleigh fell to the floor, completely lifeless. Oh my God. So I set off down the beach, running as hard as I can. You know how hard running on the sand is. It was really, really hard. And by the time I got there, Ashleigh was sat up, and she was laughing with a friend. When I was running, I was thinking, we need an ambulance for Ashleigh, we need an ambulance. By the time I got there, I'm thinking, we need an ambulance for me, we need an ambulance for me. Absolutely. But she always gets over it. And one little final story about Ashleigh is, we went to Suffolk, and this just shows how hardcore she is. We went to Suffolk, and our friends had hired this petrol go-kart, and it was so, the centre of gravity on it was so low that it was almost impossible to think that you could turn it over. But somehow or another, Ashleigh, being the light is there, not very old, went up and she put her foot down on the accelerator and went as fast as she can. Didn't go round the corner, she just went like that, and this thing flipped over, and she ended up underneath the roll cage with her arm, and the roll cage was on it. And I thought, she's definitely at least broken her arm. There can't have been any other outcome of this. Rushed her off to Ipswich A&E, just bruising. She was okay. She bounces back all the time. She's quite incredible, quite incredible. So Ashleigh, I'm bald, I have lots of furrows on my brow, I've had so many sleepless nights. Hang on. Yeah, so I've had lots of sleepless nights. I don't know what the worrying has done any good, because you always bounce back. You are a miracle, and so is Callie a miracle, and we're so proud of you. I never thought we'd... Anyway, so I never thought we'd get to this day, but we did, and you did. So, thank you for all you are, and thank you for being beautiful. So, a final bit of words of wisdom. I know I don't do wisdom, but these words are so true. There are long ships, there are tall ships, there are cruise ships, there are spaceships. But what's the best ships? The best ships are friendships. And that's what you and Danny have, and that's what will see you through good times and bad. So, if you'll all join me in standing up to raise a toast to Danny and Ashleigh. And thank you very much. So, Danny's granddad now wants to say a few words, I understand, so I'll pass the mic over by Don. Thank you, everybody. Nearly got there, sorry.
First of all, I'm very honoured and privileged to be at Danny and Ash's wedding today. My mind goes back to when he was a little lad, and we used to take Karen and Danny on bicycle rides. Needless to say, we always stocked up with duck leaves before we went. Hence, because you knew Danny would be ending up in a dike full of steam. This was very painful. As he grew older, they took an interest in war games, and June and I used to go to Downham Market to see him playing football. As he progressed, he was quite a useful goalkeeper. And I remember taking him to Ely for coaching and matches. After leaving school, he went to Wissington Sugar Beet Factory on apprenticeship. He worked very hard, and he ended up magnificent. He then took up cricket as an opening batsman, and I was most proud of him when he joined Wisbech Town Cricket Club. And it wasn't long before he made his maiden century. He's got 15 of them under his belt, and I hope he's got a few more yet. He then met Ashleigh, and they quickly became an item. and they moved into a new home in Ashleigh. Hence the arrival of Callie May. And they proved themselves to be wonderful parents. And I wish Danny and Ashleigh all the very best, good health, good luck and happiness. Thank you.
Well, thanks for that, Grandad. Written me off before it even starts. Thank you. Firstly, I just want to thank you all for making the effort to spend our special day with us today. We know that you've all had to go out of your way with being on a Tuesday in the middle of nowhere. So thanks so much for coming. There's going to be several toasts during this speech, so make sure you've all got a full glass, please. Before I go too far into things, like Trev said, I'd just like to spare a moment for those who can't be here today. There are some really special family members who passed away from both sides of our families. Too many to mention them all, but I'd like to say a few words about 3 people who had a huge impact on mine and Ash's lives. Firstly, I'd like to mention both of my nans who sadly passed away recently. I was so lucky to have 2 nans who were so loving and caring. I have lots of special memories of them both, and they'd be really proud of us today if they were here. From the moment they met Ash, they treated her as their own granddaughter. I'm so happy they got the chance to meet Callie, and the time they spent with her was so precious. And those moments I will never forget. The other incredibly special person I'd like to mention is Ash's granddad, Nev. I had the privilege of knowing and spending time with Nev for 5 years before he sadly recently passed away. Nev was a true inspiration. No matter what battles he was going through with his health, he always kept his chin up and made the best of his time with his family. Ash absolutely adored him, as did the rest of his family. Nev was always so interested in what was going on in my life, forever asking me about work and sport. He really made me feel part of the family whenever I spent time with him. He had an amazing sense of humour and would have loved being here today, but I know he's watching over us today and is incredibly proud of his granddaughter. So can we all please raise a glass to those who are here today? Cheers. Cheers. Granddad, I'd just like to say it means a word for us both for you to be here today, celebrating our special day with us. You've been incredibly brave and strong over the last few months, and that is something I'll always look up to. You really made our day by being here, so thank you. Cheers, Grandad. Mum and Dad, I found it really hard to put into words how special you are to us, and how we appreciate everything you do for us. You've always supported me in so many ways, and you've encouraged me to do whatever makes me happy. I am where I am today because of you two. Mum, you are the glue that holds everything together with the family. You're the most caring person I've ever met. You spend your whole life looking out for those who need it most. And the support you've given me throughout my whole life is more than I could ever have dreamed of. Dad, from the countless amounts of hours driving me to different sporting events throughout my childhood, to being the manager of football teams, to help me start my working career, to dealing with my constant cries out for DIY help, or to borrow your tools. Well, that came from anyway.
Yeah, I'd like some back
You really have been an amazing dad, and I really hope I can be the same to Callie as you've been to me. From the moment you both met Ash, you've treated her like a daughter that you never had. The relationship you have with her is so special, and it makes me really proud and happy. The support you have given us after the birth of our daughter Callie has been absolutely incredible. We simply couldn't cope without you guys. Callie absolutely adores you and loves spending time with you both. So please can everyone raise a glass to Mum and Dad.
Cheers.
Woo!
Claire and Trev, I can't thank you enough for welcoming me into the family with open arms. It can be quite daunting meeting the parents for the first time, but you both made me feel so comfortable from day one. You have supported both me and Ash through some ups and downs, and it's so nice to know that I can treat you both as a second mum and dad, because you've certainly treated me like a son for the last 5 years. I'll be eternally grateful for the amazing job you've done of raising my beautiful wife. I can't put into words how much respect I have for you both. Everything you went through with Ash as a young child makes us all being here today extra special. I promise you I'll look after Ash and Callie until the day I die. Callie absolutely loves spending her days with Nanny and Pops, and doesn't stop talking about you both when she's at home. I can't thank you enough for all the support you've given us since Callie was born. Again, we wouldn't have been able to cope without your help. So, another toast. Jack, you two have played a huge part in welcoming me to the family. It can be very daunting to meet the big brother for the first time, but you've been incredibly kind and welcoming, and I thank you for that. The relationship you have with Ash is so special, and even though you live quite a distance away from each other, you've always got each other's back, which is so nice to see. Here we go again. Kim and Hats, I won't be the only one to say that you both look amazing today. I can't thank you enough for the support you've shown Ash over the years. It's so special that she has her two best friends who she can always count on no matter what. And that you are both here today to stand by her side on a special day. You are two of the most kind and caring people I've ever met. You organised an amazing hen do, which Ash absolutely loved. So I also thank you for that. In the hands. Now, a lot of people say that choosing 3 best men is a bit of a cop-out, but I simply couldn't choose between the 3 of you. To have my brother Kieran, my best friend from school Andy, and my best mate in sport Dom all here today with me today is something I'm immensely proud of. Kieran, the relationship we have is so special, and I can truly say you're more like a best mate than a brother to me. The time we spend together, mostly on the cricket field, is brilliant, and I wouldn't change it for the world. You've always had my back, no matter what, and I can't thank you enough for that. Andy, we have so many incredible memories from our school days, and I'm so proud that 12 years later I can still call you my best mate. Although we don't see each other as much as we would like these days, we have one of those special friendships where we can just pick up off where we left off, like we've never been apart. Dom, you've always had my back since we started getting close over 10 years ago. We've spent so much time together over the years, both on and off the cricket pitch. I thank you for all the rowdy nights out, the hotel room on a Friday and Saturday evening, pretty much every week for years on end, and for supporting me through some tough times. Finally, thank you all for arranging 2 great stag do's, in particular the outfits and fantastic choice of drinks. I sincerely hope I get the opportunity to repay the favour one day. Cheers, lads.
Cheers.
I'd like to say a few words to our beautiful daughter, Callie. I know you won't understand this now, but one day you'll be able to watch this back. From the moment you was born, you turned our lives upside down, and we wouldn't change it for the world. The love and bond that you have with your daughter is something I simply cannot put into words. I'm so proud of the little girl you've grown up to be, and as much as I wish I could slow things down, I'm looking forward to seeing which direction you take in life, and we'll always be there to support you no matter what. We love you more than anything, cows, and I honestly don't know what we'd do without you. Love you always. Cheers, Callie. Last but not least, it's time for me to say a few words about my beautiful wife, the new Mrs. Haynes. Firstly, I'd like to say that I would love to take the credit for the way the place looks today, but it's fair to say that Ash is responsible for 95% of what's happening today. And I think you'll all agree she's done an incredible job to make it so special for us. From the moment we started to get to know each other all those years ago, I knew we had something special. Now we both know it took you a bit longer for me to realise that. But we got there at the end, and we've never looked back since. The memories we have are so special, and I can't tell you how incredibly excited I am to spend the rest of my life with you. Now it's obvious for everyone to see how beautiful you are on the outside, and that feeling I had today when you walked down the aisle is something I'll treasure forever. But it's who you are on the inside that makes you so incredibly special. You are the most kind, caring, loyal, funny person I've ever met, with the occasional ADHD moment. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I truly believe we are the perfect match, and our personalities balance each other's out perfectly. The endless support you give me and our little family every day is incredible. You are the rock that keeps us all together when I'm working long hours to keep everything in order at home and look after me and our beautiful daughter. You are the most incredible mum, and I'm so proud of the relationship you have with Kelly. You are so selfless, and everything you do is for the good of our family, which typifies the type of person you are. You are always telling me how much you wish you could win the lottery. And although it would have made paying today a whole lot easier, I can honestly say today feels like I've won the lottery. To finally be able to call you my wife, and to know that we're going to be spending the rest of our lives together as a family. I want you to know that I would do anything to protect you and Callie, and to make you both happy, and I will endeavour to do that until the day I die. If I could give you one gift in life, it would be for you to see yourself through my eyes for a day. Only then would you realise how special you are to me. So please, can we all be standing and raise a glass to my beautiful wife. It's now time to leave you in the capable hands of my best man. And this is where my team's probably for a very different reason. Please be kind, lads. Thank you.
For those that don't know me, I'm Andy. Me and Danny were, well, inseparable at school, really. Ran out of normal things to do pretty quickly. Ended up doing quite a lot of odd things like coaching football teams and things like that to teenagers, which we were upset at, but we enjoyed it nonetheless. Before I start, a few messages from people who aren't here today. Matt from school, why wasn't I invited? Chris from school, why wasn't I invited? Stavros from football, why wasn't I invited? And Mahmood from Leeds. Hope you had a nice sleep behind my cab shop. Don't forget we also pay weddings. So yeah, I've known Danny, well, since school I've known you, but I've known of him for a little longer than that. As has been mentioned already, Danny was a fairly handy goalkeeper as a kid. So was I thought, but constantly I was always being reminded, you're nowhere near as good as Danny Haynes, who, at the time, I didn't know who that was. I assumed he was a bit of a dick. So, imagine my joy when day one, lesson one at high school, teacher's reading out the register, and the short kid in front of me with the weird mullet puts his hand up, and I'm forced to talk to him. But turns out we actually got on all right, didn't we? We've done well. We got through high school fairly well. Our high school years, of course, culminating in the 3-man mission to lose our virginities in Magaluf. similar pattern most nights, I think. Head out, neck a few water down biker and coats, wait for the ladies to form a bit of an orderly queue. Come home about 2 AM, empty-handed, assuming we just didn't go to the right spot. What was supposed to be Magaluf Weekender turned into the In-Betweeners movie pretty quickly, inclusive of much deranged dancing up towards the female with a massive lack of interest coming back the other way. So, one stolen iPhone, one paranoid threats to kill from Spanish policemen, and 3 still intact virginities later. We think we all agree that that was not a roaring success. Now then, at this point, I'm told that convention dictates that I'm to offer you two some advice for married life. I'm not a married man, so I've asked around, come to the following conclusions. Danny, make sure you know what your wife actually means in spite of most of what she says. If things are getting a little bit boring at home, a little bit stale, start the argument by having a go at Ash for leaving the toilet seat down and see where the night takes you. Cricket and hockey, they're silly games. If the house needs cushions and blinds, it needs cushions and blinds. That's how it's right. And Ash, for you, communication is key. If you have anything on your mind that you're not happy with, don't go to bed on it. Let me know, because the last thing, well, really what Danny will appreciate is being told of his shortcomings as a husband at 10 AM at 10 PM in the evening. So, let it go. Special word for the bridesmaids. You're both looking lovely today. I'm sure you've kept Ash nice and calm throughout the morning. No? Fair enough. Yeah, you've done well. The way you carried your flowers from here to up there earlier. You've done a good job. And of course, Ash, we haven't met too many times, but what I do know about you is that you've taken hold of my mate who was, for quite a long time, a boy, and went about his life a boy. You've turned him into, clearly, a loving, responsible, let's face it, grateful husband to you. And I think I speak for Dom and Kieran as well when I say that there's no one we'd rather lose our friend to. So, thank you for taking hold of him and growing him up a little bit. Danny, you've managed to get yourself an absolute gorgeous wife. Never let her sober up. No, I'm joking, of course. Dan and Ash, you make a lovely couple. You and Callie, you make a beautiful family together. Personally, couldn't be prouder of you for what you turned into, you for turning him into it. And generally, I wish you all the very best of luck and happiness going forward. So, everybody, if you could join me in raising a glass to the newlyweds. Danny and Ash.
Wow, so I don't know how I follow each of those. It's been some great speeches so far. Welcome to each of those. So, firstly, Danny, I'd like to congratulate you on your excellent decision to pick me as one of your best men. It's incredibly brave too. One, because the number of stories I have about you from the amount of time that I've known you, but also the last time I spoke at a wedding, I actually got the name wrong. Sorry, screwing Ashleigh, I actually said the name wrong. So I have been practicing over and over again. Luckily, I think I got it right when I introduced you in. I was a bit nervous, I was going to say Mr. and Mrs. Dawes. So Danny decided that one best man and one stag do wasn't going to be enough. Decision he may now regret. However, he did just about survive his stag do's. More on that later on. I was very lucky, actually. I actually got asked to be the best man. Kieran didn't. It was down to Ash at his cousin's wedding to ask him if he would be the best man. So I was really lucky with that one. We're also very lucky that we're looking as good as we are today. Because up till Wednesday, we were wearing brown shoes. Danny had told us to go with our black suits that we needed to wear brown shoes. He then worked it out on Wednesday when Dad and Ash went to get the suits that we actually needed black. So that was a last minute change and we had to do that. So thankfully we got that sorted in the end. Before I continue, it's been mentioned before, but just how spectacular does it look in here today? All the hard work that's been put in. It's absolutely amazing. It's been just perfect so far. So massive well done to everybody involved getting that ready. So Danny gave me a number of rules because he wanted to make sure this lasted longer than just today, so there'll be absolutely no stories about the Friday night in Mendy's. So there's no stories there you'll be glad to know. I'm not always, though, the best at following the rules. So we're going to start with... Danny's going to be pleased to know that I have got some picture evidence in here as we're going through. So, depends how... we'll see. So where do we all begin? For Danny and Ash. So a group of us from the club, we've already heard that a big part of Danny's life has been playing sport at Westbeach. We got the X1, we went to Peterborough. Later in that evening, Danny had 1 or 2 or 9 or 10 drinks, and he's on the disco floor in Flares in Peterborough. And he's clearly taken a shine to Ash. We've got a problem though. He can hardly stand, let alone talk. And I've gone, mate, now is not the time, do not go over there and talk to her. So it was over to me, the chief wingman. So I shuffled over on the dance floor, had a little boogie, and I said, Ash, and I think it was literally something along these lines, my mate thinks you're wealthy. I think it was literally something like that. And I then said, can he have your number? She straight away said, yeah, actually, he can. And I think it was actually mistaken identity. She thought, this is a professional footballer. Not because of his good looks, but actually, because this man here looks very much like Harry Maguire. If you put them next to each other, he's really good. So Ash thought, yes, great life decision, lots of money, big house. So she agreed. And so, yeah, so we got the number, and then I passed the number to Danny the next morning, and one thing led to another, and went out here. So, obviously, it went really well. At that time, I had no idea what Ash's name was. I knew it was Ash, but that was about it. So in my phone, I saved it as Ashleigh Legend, and I still haven't changed it. It's still saved as Ashleigh Legend in my phone. Since that time, she's certainly proved that to be a correct name. She's an absolute legend because she clearly makes my mate very, very happy, which makes her an absolute legend. She's clearly an absolute legend of a mum to Callie, so she's completely proved that right. And also, just take a moment, she looks like an absolute legend today as well. Absolutely amazing. Let's take a moment, give the bride a round of applause. It's amazing. I did also find a picture of the night that happened. So that's on the bus, on the X1,
Up next to you, John.
on the way out. He was also next to Hitman. So, Harry Maguire, we've just seen, it's not the only Premier League footballer Danny has been known as in his time. In his early 20s, when he used to like going to Mendy's and places like that, he used to be known as Danny Grabadon. Danny Grabadon. Not really sure why. More recently, Jason Punchin, as clearly he is proper punching. Absolutely punching. He said, Ash looks stunning today. As well as Ash, 2 bridesmaids look absolutely stunning as well. So let's give a massive round of applause to our beautiful bridesmaids here. So over the years, what we learned about Danny, he absolutely loves a Disaronno and Coke, so if anybody wants to buy him a drink later, he will be on Disaronno and Coke, so he'll be very much appreciative of that. Shortly after we went to Peterborough, Ash came to the club. Danny kept trying to feed Ash Disaronno and Coke, because that's what he liked, so he thought she might like it as well. Later, I think, was it Gary? He said Gary said to Danny, mate, she doesn't want it. His response was, well, I don't know what else to do. Anyway, so he's had some interesting endings. He likes a night out. There's been some interesting endings to evenings. A long time ago, I can't remember if it was mum or dad picked him up from a race night. That didn't end very well. He was sick down the side of the car, and that ended in a mess. We've sent him home in taxi with his head in a bowl. We've had to pay extra to make sure he gets there. He's been sick on my poor mum's spare room wall. And also, his first ever test match that he went to watch cricket, by lunchtime, which is 1 o'clock, he was leant over with his head in a wheelie bin. So it's not always ending nicely for him. And also, he's also the only person who wants a McDonald's after a night out. So he loves dressing up. A New Year's Eve party, more on dressing up in a little while. It wasn't actually a fancy dress party either, which is the funny bit about it. It was that good, nobody actually knew who he was. Somebody came up to me and went, "Who's your mate? He's not invited, why is he at this party?" So I did try and find some photo evidence of this to show you all, but for some reason I couldn't find it on Facebook anymore, Danny. I weren't quite sure of that. As well as that, there was a tweet missing about the South Coast tours. I can't quite remember why that was deleted as well, but there we go. He loves showing off, you wouldn't believe it. Quite quiet, shy lad most of the time. Probably when he's had a Disaronno, but he just likes showing off. He's had a few press-up challenges on a dance floor over his time, with Australians in Birmingham. He's also taken all his clothes off. He's been in his underwear for a calendar. So there's lots of pictures of that. Ash, you seen a copy of that? We'll have to find that for you. He also, this is a fantastic one. He used to pose with an overseas. Was it Jack? I think it was Jack. He was posing in selfies with his top off to show his biceps, to send the pictures all around. So that's another instance of showing off. Back in the day, he's got a watch on today. He used to love getting his watch into every single picture possible. We had this brand new watch, I don't know where we got it from, but every single photo, it would just slip his wrist into the photo just to make sure that we could see it. And once as well, we used to have, we've heard he eats pretty plain foods, but he just liked chicken nuggets. In a challenge that he did in Nottingham, he was convinced that if he ate 50 chicken nuggets, he would go on the honours board and have his permanent place on the wall, and he thought that he'd be really proud of that. In the end, all it was, they took his picture and they stuck it with sticky tape on the door as we left, so he got let down a bit there. Some big advice for you, actually, don't let him drive very often. He's not a great driver, he's better than Joe, but only close. So I've got 3 instances of when he really didn't drive very well. The first one, I was parked behind him, he was giving me a lift home, he was able to drive, I wasn't. I said, "Oh mate, remember that my car's behind you?" So I reminded him, at that instantly forgot, drove back, reversed into my car. So that wasn't good. He then also decided that he wanted to go get some money. This was a different occasion. He went to the cash point. As a sports person, you'd think, oh, he's not that lazy, but no. Rather than getting out of his car, he tried to drive to it, try and get money out of his window, but then just drove straight into the cash point. I'm pretty sure there's still red paint on that wall now, so that wasn't a great one. But this tops it all off. Kieran, I think he was in the car, weren't you? Kieran was in the car, so I'm not sure where they've been, but those of you who know Wisbech, they pull up to the traffic lights on Norwich Road. They turn right onto Churchill Road. All of a sudden, what were you about to have a head-on with, Danny?
Lorry.
A lorry, yeah. So he was about to have a head-on with a lorry. Unfortunately, he was on the wrong side of the dual carriageway. So, Ash, be careful there. With his sport, shower time is the worst time of the day for Danny. He's got extremely delicate eyes. He's even resorted to at times wearing goggles in the shower, because obviously his loving teammates look after him nicely and make sure he gets nothing in his eyes. There's been so much shower gel has been poured over his head over the years, and his eyes screaming, he's like, I can't see. And then he tends to just get slapped after that, and he just has handprints all over his body, so he just gets bullied in the shower, bless him. So sport's always been a big part of Danny's life. Cricket and hockey. I'm sure Ash is thrilled about that, him losing every single Saturday. He did try and do his best a few years ago to get some time off from cricket with a day at Histon. We're not going to go into that story too much, but he did try and get some time off with that one. There's been lots of highs and lows in that time, but he must be one hell of a player. This guy is sponsored by the same company for cricket and hockey. Do you know the name of it yet? When he was asked recently, who sponsored you? I don't know, some cleaning company doing his blondes. And on the first game of the season this year for hockey, the company tweeted saying, I hope Danny Haynes has a better hockey season than he has cricket season, so any of his sponsors will just stick with that. This year, which was pretty horrible. Cricket's always been his first love, but he tried to give hockey a go. He's often questioned what he's playing as he's going through. But his first ever games, one of the senior players, I think it was Richard Claxton, so he's playing like one of his first games, and he shouts from the sideline, "Get him up, he's rubbish!" So that was very good. One of his greatest compliments has been great running. So for those who know about hockey, you need to do more than just run. And his knowledge of the rules have not been great. I won't bore you with all those, but he's had some funny moments with those too. So as I mentioned before, Danny wasn't quite content with one stag do, so as requested, the three of us organised two of them. Danny's instructions were very, very clear. He wanted it to feel like a stag do. So we made sure that happened. It was already mentioned about the alley and the kebab shop, but we dressed him up. And actually, Ash looks very impressive today. So hang on, I won't shut up first. But Danny weren't actually a bad Ash either.
Lovely.
And that weren't the only one. I don't know what we dressed him up as there, but that's a bit of a dodgy one. That was what he was wearing when he ended up at the back of the kebab shop alley. And then Pamela Anderson as well. And not a very attractive one either. So yeah.
Sexy.
So we made sure that it felt like that stag do. We set him multiple challenges as we were going through. We won't go through any of them, but he had these little cards and he had to do lots of challenges. And he achieved a lot of those, so he did really well with those. We had most of the crowd, because when we went, we all had the Harry Maguire mask on. Most of the crowd in Birmingham was singing, "Oh, Harry Maguire," literally for the whole night. He got to hit Kieran over the head with a giant leak. I think he enjoyed that a little bit too much. There was a number of other Welsh-themed games that we went on with. He missed the cricket because he fancied a sleep. And then he also made the most impressive comeback I've ever seen. I don't know how he managed to make it out of the night out, but he did. So Danny's dad came on the first stag do with us, and it must have been an experience to meet some of his friends. Oh my. The conversations that he heard, the odds-on game, one of them was drinking mouthwash. No idea why. One of them, Reese, was eating plastic plants, so be careful of the ornaments that he'll be mentioned on those a little bit later. He also had a few too many vodka Red Bulls, Carl, didn't you? Yeah. He didn't sleep too well in Cardiff. He was up at 4 o'clock to get his morning paper, so he was struggling with that. We're nearly there. I want to thank Danny for asking me to be one of his best men. It's been a great honour. He's been an amazing friend. He's always been there over the years. So hopefully, following the speech, we still are friends. So hopefully that's okay. I really admire Danny and Ashleigh as a couple. They have a perfect relationship, and that's been seen today. They're incredibly happy together. It's really natural. It's amazing. Today just proves exactly that. It's been a really special day so far today. And then now you can just relax and enjoy the celebrations. We're all going to celebrate with you and have a great night. So I'd like to finish with a toast. So they say you don't marry the person you can live with. You marry the person you can't live without. That sums up Danny and Ashleigh wonderfully. Today is the first day of the rest of their lives together. And they will create many happy memories along the way. And will cherish every moment with each other and with Callie and the rest of the family. So here goes. Can we all be standing and raise a glass to the happy couple? To the happy couple.
I believe we're ready for a first dance. Are you guys ready for a first dance? But most importantly, are the bride and groom ready for a first dance? Yeah. All right. Without further ado, this is quite a big number actually, so do join them after a little while, won't you? All right. But for now, I'll give you your bride and groom.
no